Hey y'all, listen, I've got my water hot from the y'all sweet tea, but listen, what I want to tell you today is this. I'm just going to do 1 gallon. I am fixing to do a video that you're not going to believe what's in it. So please watch this whole video because it's about a collard plant. And I'm going to take you outside and I'm going to show you something that you're just not going to believe. And something that'll be really helpful for y'all. So while our tea is steeping, because I got to have some for today, I am out. I made a gallon last night for the Cottle House, but they drank it, so I'm having to make more. But anyway, okay, so we're going to go outside. It's about collards, and I'm going to hook this video to the next one so y'all can see it. And if you don't have this, you need it. You drink it hot or cold, caffeinated, decaf, it doesn't matter. But listen, we're fixed to start this video and try to watch it to the end because you're not going to believe it. Love you. Bye. Good morning, y'all. Can y'all feel this fall in the air? I can. I'm so excited. And when I went to the grocery store this morning, I found fresh collards. Look at these things, how beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I've already dropped 1 leaf. They've already been washed. And these have been cut off the ends of them, that part. And I'm going to tell you something that I don't know if you know this or not, but it is the most interesting thing to me. I was in the grocery store, not today. I'm scooting y'all up. Y'all know how to scoot. We do a line dance called Scoot Boogie, I think's the name of it. But anyway, listen. I was in the grocery store one day, and I was over there buying me some beautiful collard leaves, and this was attached. Wait a minute. And this was still attached to it like this. You know, it hadn't been cut off. So this old black gentleman came up to me. He saw me buying those collards, and he was there doing some stuff too. We were both shopping together. And he said, what are you going to do with the ends of those collards when you cut them off? And I said, well, I don't know. I guess I'm going to throw them away. That's what I usually do. I just throw them away. He said, well, you don't need to do that. He said, they'll grow new collards. And I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And he said, listen, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people don't know this. I said, well, tell me. He said that his grandmother had 2 big pots of dirt on either side of her front steps that goes up into her house, some good rich dirt, and she started her some collard plants in the pot, because you know they look beautiful when they're actually growing, and they're just so green and plush and everything. Well, he said when you cut off the end of a collard plant, he said, you know, it's got to have that little thing on it. It's got to be all hooked together. He said, go outside and have you some good rich dirt and plant that collard plant about 3 or 4 inches deep in the dirt. These things right here, just plant them in the dirt. No roots on them, no nothing. They're just cut off, okay? And he said, and it will grow and shoot up really big, beautiful collard leaves, and then you can just go out there with your scissors and cut some off to stir fry or cook as you want to. And he said, my grandmother never ran out of collard plants. She always had collard plants, because if one got really old and she pulled it up and cut the leaves off, she replanted it. And she replanted it. And she replanted it. And she replanted it. These things right here. And she never bought any more collards after that. And she also did onions, the little green onions, she did that way. She would take her green onion. I don't know if I've got one in there. Let me see if I've got one. Hold on just a minute. Yes, I do have some. They look horrible. I about let them go. But anyway, here's what she said. He said that his grandmother did to the onions. I'll just show you this. I'm not going to use these things. I might go ahead and plant them. She would cut off this much of it and cook with that part, and she'd run outside and put this part down in the dirt, down in there, and it would grow new greenery on the top that she used to cook with. Now, y'all, that is good information. Anyway, I thanked him. We said our goodbyes, and he went his way, and I went mine. And when I got home, I planted these things, and they did exactly what he said they were going to do. So what I'm going to do today, and I'll plant these too. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to go outside and plant these 3 right here. And we're going to cook this part. And I'm going to let you see both of them, okay? Here's how my husband always took collards. He'd hold it like that, and he'd call it stripping it, and just get the leaf off of it like that. That's the way he always did it. He called it stripping the collards. And so that's the way I do it too most of the time too. And it's fast, it's easy, and you're just going to get that old stem out of there like that. Then we're going to cut them up and put them over here in just a little oil. And I'm going to kind of like stir fry mine. That one doesn't want to do, does he? Come on. Stripping collards. I'll learn something to do with all these stalks of these little things, other things I'm putting on. So anyway, I was going to show you how to do that. And I did. I showed you how. Just take it and hold your finger like that and pull, and it gets just your leaf part, and you don't have to worry about all that old stem. Of course, my husband could do it a lot better than me. He could have these things done in 2 happy sheep's tail sugars. The way they do around, little jiggering around, the little sheep's tail. 2 shakes of a happy sheep's tail. I think that's how that old saying goes. All right, so I'm going to show you this part. Look there. See there? That's so quick. All right, you just take what you've done off right here. We're going to cut them up and put them. I'm going to put a little oil in my skillet here. I'm going to use a little bacon grease. About 2 things of it. That's all I'm going to use. If you don't want to use that, you certainly don't have to. You can use olive oil, canola oil, whatever you want. Just rough chop these. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. Just rough chop them. And we're going to put them in this oil over here. And we're going to put a top on it. And no, we're not putting any water in there. They were just washed, so they shouldn't need a whole lot of water. I'm not going to put any water in them. They're too wet right now. This is going to be so good. I always look forward to collards. And they are so good for you, y'all. They're so high in iron. Look at that, how pretty. All right, we're going to put them in. And you'll think that there's not going to be enough room for all these collards in this skillet. But it will be, because these are going to cook down. It won't take them but a minute to cook down. We'll put just a little salt on it right now, so that that salt will help to pull the water out of them. That's enough. I'm going to put my top on it and let her go. And while that's doing that, we're going to go outside and plant these others, and then by that time it'll be cooked down, and we'll strip these and have us some collards for supper. Give these a quick stir before we go out. And I'm going to turn them down also. Turn them down low. Ooh, they're already smelling good. All right. Oops. Let me get y'all out of the stand, and we're fixed to go outside. Okay, let's plant our collards. Y'all come over here with me. This is an old Army mop bucket that I keep good dirt in, okay? And I've got it, it's just good dirt. So I'm fixing to put our collard plants in the ground. And I probably won't post this for a while so y'all could actually see what's fixing to take place. I'm gonna put it right there. I'm planting it about 4 or 5 inches deep. The ground, the dirt's nice and moist. Like that. Okay, and we got one more. You know, we can learn a lot from our elders. That gentleman, he wanted to help me. He wanted to help me, and he did. And I want to help y'all, and I am. All right, I went ahead and took those 4 little old scrunchy onions I had, and I'm going to plant them on this side, and we're going to see what they do. We'll come back out here in a week or so, and we'll check it out and see what's happening. I've got a weed that comes up in my stuff, and you can't get rid of it. Anyway, this Army mop bucket is old, old, old. It's old as Methuselah. Y'all know how old Methuselah was? He was 900 something years old, but I can't remember what the exact number. Maybe y'all can tell me. All right, so we're going to put our onions on this side. Let me smooth it out a little bit. And see, that was that onion, you know, that I cut off a while ago. I'm just going to barely stick it down. You got to let some of it show. Okay. All right, we'll just leave our tools. Well, I'm not going to leave my tool right there. Okay, let me go get y'all. I got you sitting up in the windowsill. You're in the windowsill. Anyway, here, look, I want to show you. So here's the mop bucket. We've got our 3 collards planted. We got 4 little old bitty onions planted. And we're going to see what in the world it will do. And you know, I love it when people tell me things I don't know, like the old gentleman that told me about his grandmother's collards. We had the best conversation that day in the grocery store. It was wonderful, and I appreciate it. So if I hope he's listening, I thanked him that day, but I want to thank you again. Y'all know how full this pan was just a minute ago before we went outside. Look at that. It's cooked down. So now I have room for the rest of my collards. You just can't put them in all at the same time. So we're going to put them in. Like this. I'll put a little bit more salt, just a little bit though, not much, y'all. You know you can't take salt out once you get it in there. I've still got it on really low. It's on between 1 and 2, so that's low. Now come over here, I want to show you something. I saved out 3 big collard leaves. Well, actually, that's 4. I saved out 4, and look what we're going to do with it. Let me move this out of the way. Clean us off a spot. Get my knife out. All right, we're going to cut these stems off like this. We're just going to cut these off. We're not pulling them off. I'm going to slice it down like that so I get all that old stem out of there. Like that. Okay. Okay, let me do one more, and we'll show what we're going to do with these 4 collard leaves. We are going to cut them up in about 3-inch little squares. Let me kind of stack them together. Like that. So you can see. We're just stacking them up. And I'm going to cut them like this. Big, kind of big looking, like that. Oh my goodness. All right. And I don't want them quite that big, so I'm just going to do them more like that, okay? That's what I want. Just kind of squared up a little bit. All right. Now then, we're going to put them on a cookie sheet. Y'all are thinking, what is Brenda doing now? She has lost it. We're going to spread them out a little bit in just a minute. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Let me do this. All right, let me get my olive oil back out, what I did with that. Here it is. Put about a tablespoon of olive oil on it. It'd help if I take the top off, wouldn't it? All right, about a tablespoon. I think that's about a tablespoon because it was coming out kind of slow. Mix it up so that every little piece has some oil on it. All right. Spread it out. And I'm going to do one thing just for a test run. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to grease one stalk, put in there. I'm curious about something. I'll show you what I'm curious about later. I'm going to put one stalk. All right. I've got the oven set on 300. It's just set on 300. Now what you do is you put a little salt on it. Just a little bit, just a light sprinkling. Let me get it coming out. Because that's all I'm going to put. Spread it out. And we are going to put these in the oven. And we are making collard chips. So if y'all want something crunchy, but you want something healthy, then here's the way to go. Now, I don't know if it's going to turn out good or not because I've never made them. But I can say this. I certainly am going to try. Here we go. We're going to pop it in the oven on 300 degrees while our sauteed stuff in there is going. All right, I'll get back with you a little bit when they're ready. Okay, y'all, the collards are done. I wanted you to see them because see how they cook down. It doesn't look like there's hardly any in there. So I'm going to taste one. I've already tasted one, but I'll taste them again for you. Now, when you cook them this way, they're going to have a firmness to them that is not present when you boil them. But I like them like this. You'll have to try it. And then we want to look at our chips. I think they could be just a little bit better, but we're going to look at them. Our collard chips. I'm going to leave them in, I think, just a little bit longer. But they are crunchy. They're all right. Nothing to brag about. But at least I tried them. At least I tried them. I'll probably eat them, but they're not something I would want to have every single day of the week. I can tell you that. Love y'all. Take care. And cook you some cornbread to go with your collards. You'll love it. Bye-bye. Okay, y'all. 1 week has passed since I put those collards. Remember when I cut them off and I just stuck them in this dirt? I wanted you to see what's happened in just 1 week. And here are those little onions that we put just the end part in there. Remember we did that too? Look at that. I'm telling y'all, I tried to stick some collard leaves down to see if they'd do anything, but they hadn't done anything. I was just an experiment. But listen, do not throw the end of your collards away. You put them in you some dirt, and you can just go back here with a scissors and clip off some of these leaves and stir fry them at any time. We all need to be saving money, and this is the way to do it. Now, save your collard ends of it. Put it in some dirt and grow you some new collards, y'all.